Hello, my name is Gordon Lee. I'm currently a sophomore at City College. My major is in civil engineering slash structure. So in today's lesson, we're gonna be learning about surveyors. Surveyors are very important when determining and building a structure or anything. So for some background information about surveyor, the typical entry level education that is needed to be a surveyor is a bachelor's degree. So some people may major in civil engineering, mechanical engineering, but they could also major in becoming a surveyor. Once they once they graduate with a bachelor degree, they must pass the exam of the fundamentals of surveying, also known as the FAs. They must also pass the exam for principles and practicing of surveying, also known as a PS. These two exams are very important because it makes you a credible surveyor, and also in order to with your bachelor degree and these two exams you can be hired to be a surveyor when it comes to building a structure or anything that requires looking for dimensions. The average salary for a surveyor is about $63,000 per year and making about $30.50 per hour. So what do surveyors do? Their duties of a surveyor is to survey and measure the angles and distances between points below, on, and above the Earth's surface. When it comes to building a house, you must know the right dimensions that is on Earth to completely build a house without conflicting any problems. They must also research and survey and record titles. This may This may include what happened to the land before, the history of the land, and what you must take into account. You must also look for evidence of previous boundaries and determine where the boundaries lines are located. So as I mentioned, you must learn about the history of the land, what can cause problems, or where you could place a certain amount of object. You must also prepare plots, maps, and reports. This will help the design team and architect and also the engineers when building a building. Taking a look at this picture, you can see that there are two guys. They may be two surveyors working together to find the right measurements within a certain place. The equipment that this first person is using is called theodolite. The equipment is a rotating telescope for measuring horizontal and vertical angles within that certain amount of place. As you can see here, it is standing on three legs, so making it very balanced on the road. The second person in the far back is holding up a camera that the first person is looking through to make sure that its horizontal and vertical angles are correct. So you may ask, why is a surveyor required? When a person is planning to construct a new home or structure on a existing property, the surveyor will come with his or her team and identify the precise boundaries and any potential restrictions. For example, some land may require to have the right of way. The right of way means that it allows adjacent properties owners to utilize a portion of your land to access their homes through a driveway or road. For example, if two houses are right next to each other and their only way out is through one driveway, when building a house, you must take that into account because you don't want to conflict with that certain part. Another thing a surveyor has to take account when measuring the land is the underground, is what's happening on the underground. For example, there's electric companies, water and sewer companies that are underground your house and in your front porch. These electric companies have the right to access a portion of your property in order to make repairs. For example, let's say there's something wrong with the electric lines within your block. It may be your front porch that Con Edison has to work on in order to fix that problem. They have the right to access and drill within your front porch in order to fix any problems that are affecting the nearby homes. So why is a surveyors important? Surveyors are important because they're the first step in building a house slash structure. As you can see that from my previous slides, they're required to build within a certain area and not conflict with any problems that other houses may have. They also avoids problems in the long run. For example, you planning to build a house, and if you don't measure out the correct measurements, and you find out that your house interferes or extends onto your neighbor's property, they may cause problems such as lawsuits. You don't want that to happen. Another problem that you could have is if you build your house too far out and Con Edison wants to fix something on the ground, but your house is blocking it. This can cause problems in the long run. As shown in this picture, it's almost the same one as the other picture I showed before. Showed before is that these two people are lining up and making sure that their alignment is correct, and make sure that the houses or whatever is getting built doesn't affect the the neighboring surrounding areas. So overall, in conclusion, the role of surveyors are very important when building a structure because it will prevent any conflicting problems in the long run or even any anywhere. They are the first step when building a house or a structure. It's very important to know that your structure isn't causing any problems with the surrounding buildings. You don't want to have to fix up your house after a few years because you end up making a problem or conflicting a neighboring house. Thank you for learning with me about the role of surveyors. They're very important when it comes to building a structure. Thank you.